Yeah, yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shine. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shine. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast, episode 34. What's going on, DT?
What's up, this Jerry? Take off your headphones. We know they're fake. They're not real.
You caught me.
Good. I hate everything about it. Throw them in the garbage.
You caught me. I was trying to be with the team. These are not real. Not real. What can I do? Just trying to keep my job around here.
Jerry, what we gonna do, man?
What are we gonna understand why he did that, bro?
Just trying to keep my job, fella. You know, that's what I was trying to do.
I don't even want to ask the question anymore, bro.
That's not it.
We don't even want him with us. I just want to ask him if he's with us.
Oh, I'm out of here?
Yeah, he's with that comment, man. Listen, man, DT, you still with us, man?
I am, but I'm gonna tell you right now. For the next episode, Lance, I'm gonna send you some of these.
I don't even want those.
These are the headphones you need, because them little headphones you had on your head, them shits is probably grown man size.
Perfectly. What are you talking about?
I'm tired. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're gonna kill us in the comments. They're gonna kill us in the comments.
Perfect right there, guys.
Jerry, you staying with us even with this guy? What are you doing?
No, we next episode we looking for a new one.
Oh, we back to that. We back to that. Well, while I'm here,
yeah, right, today because I'm telling you right now, tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys signing my paycheck while I'm here. So while I am here today, today we're gonna go over some questions here about real estate investment questions, and we're gonna give you our perspective, and hopefully we can help you guys out at home as well. So I'm gonna go through a few questions. I'll throw the DT and just Jerry go back and forth, maybe throw my input in there if I feel like working today, you know, but
just don't put the headphones back on.
Just leave the headphones there. But at the end of that, I do want to read some questions to you guys, and we'll definitely get into it. You fellas ready?
H.G.R.G.club.
You already know, H.G.R.G.club. Make sure you guys like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. All right, let's get this going.
We out here.
Let's get this going. All right, listen, DT. What is the best real estate investment strategy for me?
You to never in your life wear those headphones again.
be on the headphones.
You will leave Earth if you never wear those headphones again.
Copy that.
Sure. All right. For me, when you say me, you're talking about, new investors, people.
New investors, absolutely. Yeah, there'll be new investors asking. Sure.
That's a loaded question, but I would say no matter what it is, somehow, some way, buy and hold. Whether it's through the Burr method, through FHA, owner financing, creative financing, buying and holding.
Why is that?
So you could do well with flipping. You could do well with being a realtor. You could do well with being a contractor. Like real estate in general, there's, I think there's like 140, 150 different ways to make money in real estate. So, you could do well in all those ways. In my opinion, most people tune in because they want to learn how to invest their money and strategize that. So I would say buying and holding would be the best way. People who have money, investors, 25% down, that's the best way. People who don't have money, they need the FHA scheme or owner financing or creative lending. Still you could do that well. You could do that as well, but another way. But lo and behold, buying and holding.
Well, so let's take the buy and holding. When you put it up against, like, let's say flipping, right? You always have to find the next flip to keep the income coming in, right? Buy and hold is more long term.
You got to have money to do that.
Yeah,
you got to front that money.
You can't buy and hold on like $20, $15, $10,000. Like that's not a reality.
That's correct.
So
you can't buy and hold on 10, 15,000 or flip.
Flip.
Okay, gotcha. Just want to be very clear. And really, buy and hold is long term.
Yeah.
You know, a flip is here today, gone tomorrow, on to the next one. Have to get back to it. You know, so this here with buy and hold,
the next fix.
Right? It's that passive income that everyone speaks about. So
Unless the only way you can flip without large sums of money is if you have direct connections to a hard money lender. And
absolutely,
you know, you have 10, 15,000 hard money lenders willing to go all in with you. You know, you have a family member, a friend who has large amounts of money, they're willing to lend it to you for, you know, a percentage. You know, there's ways. So that's why that's why I said it's a loaded question. But
right. You just talk about strategy and what may be the best strategy for a new investor. Buy and hold.
Yes, sir.
Right. Got it. Okay.
What would you say to wholesaling? Is that a strategy to get into real estate?
Yeah, well, wholesaling, you don't need no money.
So is that the best way?
No.
Why not?
Tell me more.
For what's your long-term goal? So you know, you can't ask me that without telling me your long-term goal.
Yeah, it's a loaded question, but we're not. I can't give you the answer because I'm just a green investor. I'm trying to get into real estate. What is the best strategy to go in? They say wholesale. I'm trying to getting into real estate.
Right. Usually a lot of people take wholesaling money or think that the strategy is let me wholesale, get some money initially so that way I can go get a buy and hold.
Great point. Right? Great point. Why our H.G.R.G is what it is, right? That is not real.
Not for many people. It's very true.
Yeah, it's just not.
Did you just pop my balloon, bro?
It's just not real. Now, you know, let's be clear. The question was asked, you know, what's the best way to get involved with real estate? The person who asked that question is a person who has no idea or probably has minimal, you know, experience or conversation or whatever about real estate, right? So
I can't answer that question.
If you are a YouTube university, right, and I see a lot of YouTube videos about wholesaling, and you know, they always preach no money, no money, no money, no money. So one would ask, why would I not go that route, right? But with wholesaling, you don't really need money, but you need a lot of experience. You can't be green in real estate and be successful in wholesaling. It doesn't match, because with wholesaling, you need a network. You need to understand your market. You need to understand realtors. You got to have connections, contractors, what property values are, what they can be held at, what they can be flipped at. There's a lot that goes into that. You can't be green and just walk into wholesaling and be successful. It just doesn't work like that, right? So how do you start? It's not wholesaling. It's not that. You have to figure out another way, get experience, and then go that route, because now you have experience, right? Jerry, I think you know a little bit about that.
That is the conversation you should be telling. I had to bring that out of you. I'm not the host, Papa. I'm just letting you know.
well, you might be if I bring the damn headphones.
I might replace the host.
I could see you're preparing. Where's his headphones
for the worst? I'm preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
Just remember what happened last time you guys replaced me. Tried to replace me. Remember that.
That was on purpose, sir.
Just remember.
So you know, if you
that is correct. So wholesaling is not the way to get. It is a way to get in, but it's not the way if you're trying to get into a passive income. So
yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Or if you're green, like you're saying, if you're green, like you said, that's a great point. I never hear that. You know, I mean, I know there's courses out there and whatnot, but I never hear that. The network, building your network, knowing the game, knowing the market, you know, being able to you know, look at properties and know what you're looking for, how to negotiate with them. Sometimes when you're wholesaling, a negotiation with that person may take 2-3 months,
right?
6, 7, 8 months. You know, you never know.
Years, sometimes
right?
years.
Sometimes years. And then when you get the property, you know, hand it off as well. Who are you going to hand it off to as well? You know, so I mean, there's a whole, you know, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yep.
The key to wholesaling is networking.
Yep.
If you don't have a network, wholesaling is not for you. Period.
Or you're gonna just keep on losing that $1,000. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, you'll end up with, you know, a lead here, a lead here, a lead there with nobody to dump it to.
Correct.
And then after that, you know, once you 2-3 leads and you don't have somebody, your name will be out there like, don't mess with this person. They're not able to close their deals. And with wholesaling, as everybody knows, closing your deals is like the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether you close them or you know, forward them off to somebody else. But yeah, so that ain't it. Like, you know, to rewind to the beginning, fast forward it to right now. Understand this: the way into real estate is not wholesaling if you don't have experience in a network. Not at all. It sounds good on YouTube. Trust me, because I'm seasoned. I wholesale. I've wholesaled. I have successful wholesale deals. I have unsuccessful wholesale deals. I'm still wholesaling. I do watch wholesale YouTube videos, and I'm in it just because I like to hear, you know, different things. Also with the laws that are going on, whatever. But you know, nobody ever tells you that this ain't the way in. Nobody says.
I can tell the opposite way, DT.
Right. They always say you don't need no money. It's free. If you're, you know, if you have 4 extra hours a day, just, you know, tune in, skip trace, call, drive for dollars. Just that. How do you drive for dollars if you don't know what a dollar is?
If you don't know what you're driving for,
you find a house that's worth, you know, whatever the dollar amount is, 200, 300, 4,000, and you talk to the owner. The owner's interested. How do you make a real offer if you don't know what the house is really worth,
or know the questions to ask to figure out, you know, what you're walking into?
The wholesalers will teach you the questions to ask, but if you don't know how much the house is worth, and the wholesalers will also say, I have a program that will tell you how much the house is worth. Right? The wholesaling people who sell programs, they have everything laid out for you, right? But if you don't know what mold looks like, Jerry, you know what mold looks like, right?
We do. On this side, we do.
If you don't know what, you know, if you don't know what like violations, codes, you know, structure, roofing, good, bad, ugly, if you don't know that, like, you know, like, where are you going? How do you win?
You're not gonna. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're get it, and if you have the right network, you'll sell it, but you won't make no real money for it. So
not at all. Or be stuck with the property.
Or be stuck with the property.
I didn't know it was gonna turn into this. Woo, it's question number one. Damn.
Let's be clear. Wholesaling is a way to get into real estate. You just got to be a little bit more seasoned than the green.
Facts, 100%.
Well, there it is. There it is, world. There it is.
I got a good friend. Story time with DT.
Story time with DT.
I got a friend, right? So I ended up getting a deal from him. Not that I bought it, but I ended up selling it for him. He was super green. He got involved with wholesaling through a friend of a friend. I think it was his brother. He ended up getting involved, found this property. I think it was somebody who went to church with him. So he wanted to be a wholesaler. He told people around him, go back to our last episode. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're doing something, make sure you tell everybody around you what you're doing.
Right.
And this is what he did. He told everybody in his church, this is what he's doing. One of his church members told him, I have this property I'm trying to get rid of. He reaches out to me. I got this property. I sold it in one day. Didn't make no money off the deal because I wanted the management. Long story short, lo and behold, he had no idea what he was doing. So I got an investor. They bought the property, closed on it, managed it. He came back to me. He was so happy. So happy. And I explained to him what he did wrong. Forever to this day, he's like, whatever you need from me, because now he's doing a little bit better. And I schooled him for free after the deal. Nevertheless, I got to feed my family. I'm not out here to snake nobody, but listen, you came to me with a deal. You told me a number. I gave you that number. I didn't even negotiate with you. After you did that, I told you, listen, bro, you should have did that. You left like
show you how to do this, son.
You left like 20 bands.
After you gave me yo, listen, you can get this much money, but I ain't gonna tell you that right now. Here's the money, and then after, I paid for that.
Now
listen, you could have got this for it, man.
If I was a slime ball, I would have got that property on the contract in my name and then sold it again for that 20 bands, but I didn't do that. I didn't get greedy because the management, I'll see that money long term. So instead of me doing that, I just said, okay, boom, got the property under contract. Afterwards, I told him, listen, you left 20,000 on the table and let me show you how. And I told him about that. So that deal brought me another deal 4 or 5 months down the line. And then now I'm maybe in the process of buying his whole company that's not really good, but it does something for pennies to the dollar.
DT's out here buying companies. Take you out.
He's not worth shit, bro.
Bowling. So listen, so that was a lot for one question, but we got into it. Now that right there was a lot of jewels dropped, right? So just Jerry, how do I determine the value of an investment property?
I don't know. So there's a lot of ways to determine. Comps, you need comps. You get comps. Comps are market value around the area. So you would look at across the street. You'll look a mile away. You're 0.5 miles away. See what they're selling for. Houses selling for. So you're looking for comps. The market is a big
driving factor.
If you're buying a house for 200,000 and the market over there is 60,000, you're never gonna win. It's just gonna lose 100%. You're upside down.
I love how you did that. I don't want to hold you. I love how you did it though. The 60,000 to 200,000, because you got to you have to do it like that. Because if you would have said 80,000, 60,000, someone like, well, if I put this in,
they don't
put that in,
right. They don't hear you.
I can get it sold, right? So you got to be so dramatic so that way they get the point. But let me also ask you this with this question. I know that you were going off, but if you have a 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot property, and you're looking at comps, is it the same if you're looking at a 2-bedroom, 1,100 square feet property? Is that the type of comps you want to look at, or what do you want to look at as far as comparing?
Well, the best way is you're gonna look at comps similar to what you're selling or what you're buying. Absolutely. So if you have 4 bedrooms, look for 4 bedrooms, 4-bedroom houses. If you're looking for a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom house, and the one you're buying is 4, they're not going to be comparable. Yeah. They're going to be similar, but not comparable.
Yeah.
So you're looking for exactly what you're buying. So you could now negotiate the prices. You can negotiate.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. When realtors put properties on market, right? They put the property on market and they sell it a specific dollar amount per square foot.
Correct.
For the average Joe Schmo, the green investor, the most, the common Joe Schmo, how much is it for a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom house? It's typically X amount of dollars. Okay, no problem. How much is it for a 3-bedroom? Typically that. But when you get into the nitty gritty and you talk to an actual experienced realtor in that market, in that area, they're going to break it down square footage, price per square footage.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Price per, right? Bathrooms, bedrooms, comparables. So every square foot counts, and it's this amount of money, and that's what it's going for.
Right. Because you don't want to look at something. You don't want to look at something, the comparables, right? You're looking at the comps, and you go, oh wow, 300, 350, 400. Oh my, I can sell this for that. And they have 4 bedrooms, and the square footage is a lot more than your 2-bedroom, right? And you're thinking you can get it all for that,
100%.
Right? When you're not understanding, the square footage plays a big role.
Yeah, if Lance has a 2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and I have a 1,100 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, we're not in the same ballpark.
Right. You're not getting for yours what I'm getting for mine.
My square footage is going to be, mind you, that same example, we're in the same neighborhood. We're in the same neighborhood.
Right.
My square footage is going to be comparable, if not exact, to his square footage, but he has more square footage.
Correct.
Right.
So,
what DT is telling you, if you want to challenge what he says or kind of review what he says, in Zillow, you go to Zillow and they usually say it, square foot is $97. each square foot. So
Sure.
you kind of could see that what he's saying in broad daylight when you just go on Zillow.
And those are real numbers. Like, we're not making that up, and that's across the world, across the border. It doesn't matter where you're at. Same thing. Price per square foot, all realtors on the same thing. Now, mind you, there's some areas that, yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday it was $45 a square foot. Today is $100 a square foot. That's a real thing.
Now let's piggyback on that. Why does that happen? Well, at the end of the day, now you have someone that comes in that really wants to buy the property, and there's competition, and you got to put in your best offer, and they start offering $20,000 over asking price, and your house is comparable to that house. Now all of a sudden your price goes up. Your price per square footage goes up. You see what I'm saying? So if it was 300,000, if everything sold for 300,000 in that neighborhood, and then tomorrow a house sells for 320, and another one sells for 315, and the other one 320. Now all of a sudden it has shifted from 300 to 315 to 320.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like you said, yesterday's price is not today's price. So that's how that shift happens. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
And man, we can go crazy with this. Because, you can essentially you can dictate the prices in your neighborhood. There was a line that was said by Jay-Z. There was a line that was said by Jay-Z. He did a little rap thing that he said. He said, "Buy your neighborhood." That's how you do it. Right. So you can go into a neighborhood that the property values are, for easy math, the average 50,000, 60, 70,000. Right. You can buy all of the available properties for 50, 60, 70,000. Upgrade those properties. Change the demographic of tenants. Now you create higher property values. You change
block.
Right. You change $50,000, $60,000 properties to $150,000 to $200,000 properties.
Bro, we talking about green investors. They might buy the block. Got serious real quick.
I don't know.
Real quick. He said, "What's up? I can get the whole block out here, bro."
You talking to the H.G.R.G community right now? I didn't even register to me. He's like, wait, this is for people in green. You just talking about buying up 12 properties, changing the demographic, and then selling it for more and flipping.
Next question.
Unbelievable. So here, I have another question here for DT. How do I find a profitable investment property?
Open your eyes. It's that simple. First and foremost, you need go to your I think it's Google, right? Go to your Google search, type in H.G.R.G.club.
You better say that one more time, player.
Go to Google search, type in H.G.R.G.club, H.G.R.G.club. Reach out to several seasoned investors with an amazing market that have very marketable and profitable properties right now. Not today, not yesterday, but right now.
So my question to this would be, right, is that when you say profitable, you're talking about are they talking about flipping? Or are you talking about buy and hold? Because in those two realms, they can be profitable, right? Your investment can be profitable. Yeah. So since you went with buy and hold before, right? Tell me about finding a buy and hold profitable property.
Those are
how would you go about that?
Buy and hold are easy. Cliche answer would be we have all of the above. Cliche is say, we got buy and holds, we got flips, we got this, we got that. Which, all that is true. Right.
I just want to make sure we tell that true.
All that's true, right? Lo and behold, you just got to buy right? Every property is not for every scenario.
When you say buy right, hit them. Let me know what you mean when you say buy right.
Buy right. Understand your neighborhood, your market, your price point, the property condition, the actual address down to the specific number on that street. In our market, 5 houses changes life, changes margins very high, like different. There's a whole huge difference in margins, not only margins, but if you ask me, would you buy 101 First Street?
Wait, hold on. Let me stop you. So when you say 5 houses, you mean like 5 houses down can change your profit margin? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, not 5 different houses from all over the city. Yes, specifically 5 houses down from one another, like neighbor to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor. 5 houses changes everything. To go back to my example, if you ask me, would you buy 101 First Street? And I'm using this as like loosely. I'm not saying that particular property. I would tell you, no, that's terrible. There's drug activity. It's on a main avenue. It's on a corner. Don't do it. That property's when my father's father was born, that property was a problem. It's still a problem. It's gonna forever be a problem. But if you said, if I buy 121 First Street, would you do it? I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, you can do well there. To the average person, it'd be like, how's that even possible? 5 houses changes everything. 101 First Street is on the corner. 121 is, 5 houses in the block. It's a great property. You could do well with it. I mean, it may not be where
quiet side street, something like that.
It may not be where I would want to live with my kids, but it may be somewhere where I would buy because it's a solid investment. If you're into fringe neighborhoods, again, typically it really boils down to the type of investor you are. So when Lance said, break that down, how do you buy right? Number one, you got to understand your investor. If you are tuned into H.G.R.G.club and you are a student, alumni, group member, whatever that looks like, we have to understand who you are. Once we understand who you are, we can show you how to move forward from there. If we don't, it won't work. But this is what we do. We understand Lance likes this type of property. DT likes that type of property. Jerry likes this type of property. Only going to send Lance the properties he likes.
Right.
And it goes on from there. So that's a huge part of what we do. That's a great question, Lance, but that's really like big. And I want to tap into that because buying right is one of the most important things you do. That's the biggest flaw from most investors that we get that goes wrong because they don't buy right.
You also got to look at the maintenance. You don't want to buy a property. You see the profit margins to be high. You're like, you know what, man, this is great. I could charge this much for rent. I could do this. And then you have it all mapped out in your head as a great investment. And you missed that the roof needs to be replaced in a year.
How do you miss that?
Or the water tanks. I mean, just not doing your due diligence, not having a great team, not doing the proper inspections, having the people doing the proper final walkthroughs and whatnot. All that stuff that can be caught. Some investors may miss, especially out of town investors.
You know why that happens? I mean to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
I want to respectfully do so. Why that happens? Because realtors sell houses. That's what they do. They feed their families on every house they sell. They don't make money off of telling you what's a good buy, what's a bad buy, what's a great investment, what's a not great investment. Some realtors deal with owner occupants and investors. Some realtors deal with investors. Some do both, and they do both well. But for the most part, they make money off of every deal that closes, right? So their vested interest is closing on all deals they can close on. As an investor, you need to find somebody who doesn't really have that vested interest, right? You got to find a H.G.R.G.club that can be your liaison that has zero interest in you buying 100 properties. H.G.R.G's interest would be you buying 1 property right, not 10 properties wrong.
Right. And learning the process. Yeah.
That's huge.
100%. 100%. Oh, DT, you're on a roll today, man. I'll tell you that. You can't rock out. So let me go ahead and move on to the next one.
I'm start taking notes in here.
Just Jerry, can I begin investing in real estate with no money? Here we go. It's kind of backtracking on what we were talking about earlier. Here we go.
If you go that route, no, I'm just joking. Absolutely. There's ways to always get it. There's so many ways to get in real estate that yes, you can get it with zero money down. There's sales financing. There's real estate partnerships. That means you do all the grunt work and your partner pays for most of the fixes, the maintenance, and all across the board.
Yep.
Great point.
Hard money lenders. There's private lenders that you could ask your friends to borrow money and you give the money back when you do refi. There's wholesaling. Even though DT says as a green investor, don't jump in. But if you're a seasoned investor, you can get that with zero money.
Right. Yep.
There's so many ways to get to real estate without money. With money, doesn't matter.
What about a little bit of money? Well, somebody like in between, like, man, I don't have much, but I got 10,000 in the bank. I know I can't buy this, I can't do that, but I got 10,000. Can I work with that? Is there a program out there that they can utilize? Where we can that 10,000 is useful to them.
H.G.R.G will tell you.
100%.
But to be honest, yes, there's always, if you have a little bit of money, if you have 10,000, you can always get somebody to lend you another couple 10,000 and you get into the game. You can always start. It's called skin in the game. If you have 10,000 and you want to get into a money lender, it's always something you could do. If you have money, you don't have money, you could definitely jump into real estate. Absolutely.
What about an owner occupant with that same 10,000? What do they utilize for that?
Oh yeah, good point. You could jump into a 3.5 FHA loan and jump into a 2-family home, a 3-family home, 4-family home.
So so I want to jump on that, Mr. Jerry. So that is something that a lot of people, I think all three of us would be on the same page here. If I could do it all over again, when I was young, I would have jumped into a building, with a duplex, triplex, quad, whatever I could do, right? And I would try to find, obviously, a quad with an FHA loan. Absolutely. Put down 3.5%. I mean, if I could do it all over again.
%.
If I could do it all over again.
1,000,000%. If I can do it all over again right now.
That's a great point, bro.
Whatever.
I'll do
utilize
right
that. People think you got to go get your dream home or single family home because you're using an FHA program or it's your first property. No, take that and use that shit to go get you a quad, a triplex.
Even that's a phenomenal point. But and not shade on that. Even seasoned investors that never knew that was an opportunity, available opportunity. I know somebody near and dear to me, which I'll share behind the scenes with us, but that they're in real estate and they're in a place right now. They're like, I can do that.
Yeah, correct. We have those stories across the board. I have that conversation daily.
Like crazy. So, daily. To Lance's point, 1,000,000%. And you don't just walk into that without knowing H.G.R.G.club or knowing somebody near to you that's going to be able to walk you through all the steps, because it's not just, for the average person who listens to this, they're not going to be able to go tomorrow and figure that out. There's connections that need to be made. Like, you got to understand certain loopholes and how to get to this and how to get to that. And, what is FHA? Why does that benefit you? How does it benefit you? How do you take advantage of it? What do you need to do to take advantage of that?
Yep. Can we sprinkle selling concessions on there somehow as well? Save you that 10,000 for you. Where you can go in.
What are seller concessions?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you even, can I, you're telling me I can put 3.5% down and ask for seller's concession?
Right.
That's possible?
And the backside of that, you just can't walk up to a building and be like, oh, I like this one. The building has to be up to code in certain areas for it to qualify as an FHA loan. It's simple. I don't want to make it sound too simple or too complicated, but it's right there in the middle, right? You're just gonna have the knowledge.
No. Make it simple, because it is simple. Yeah. If you have the right people, the right team, it is that simple.
Well, it'd be simple for H.G.R.G. 100%.
100%. That was the alley-oop.
Yeah, we're feeling ourselves now because we got people. We're actually moving people through the H.G.R.G. program, where we're starting to see results.
There's actually one gentleman that's part of H.G.R.G. That before he was H.G.R.G., he took advantage of that and he bought a building.
Right.
And because he made that investment, he's in a place now where he can level up.
Yes, sir.
And he been sitting and waiting. And oh, by the way, we got some stuff for him. You know what I'm saying? He been sitting and waiting patiently. We got something for him though. But to your point, he did that before HGRG. Yeah. And he went through classes, courses. He figured it out. I'm sure he'll be on here shortly. He'll tell you his story.
Utilize programs as well himself.
He'll tell you his story. Don't let me ad lib for him. And then after that, he'll tell you, what HGRG brought to the table for him. But, to your point, like there's so many things that you could take advantage of. There's opportunity, but if you don't know, you won't do. If you don't know, you won't do. That's the point. That's why we're here.
Knowledge is power.
That's across the board. If we're not teaching you, we're not showing you the way, you're never. I'm not gonna say never. But if you're gonna do the hard work, you'll learn. But you don't have to do the hard work. HGRG.club.
Right.
We're gonna show you the way.
That's it. Preach, fellas. Hey, listen, at this point, we're allowed to preach. We got people going through things. We have people signing paperwork with our logo on it. Yeah. We got people making signing closing documents, cheesing at the camera now because, they went through us. So, we deserve, not to pass on it back too much, but we deserve this, We deserve to
one of our proudest moments is we have a young lady who's through our program. She's the greenest investor that we have. But she got it. She gets it at her pace. She figured it out. She's right now in the process of closing on her first apartment, her first duplex, owner occupant duplex. And I'm amazed at what she bought, how she bought it, and her view on what she bought.
I can't wait to bring her on.
Yeah, I can't wait to bring her on.
She didn't buy like a turnkey, beautiful property. She bought a fixer-upper. And we all know that when we talk to her, her idea was not fixer-upper idea. Her idea was like, I want to live this way, I want this and this and that third. But through her, even, it may not even been all through HGRG, but HGRG exposed her to a different light. And she grasped it. And when I tell you, I'm hats off to her. We're so proud of her.
I don't want to take away from H.G.R.G. She thought she was a year or two out of the process of which she's at.
I was going to tell you that, and she didn't buy just buying out, cash out. She did a couple things to make it happen.
Right. Work hard. Yeah.
We gave her some ideas. We told her to do this. We gave her some guidance, and she listened. Bro.
When we first talked to her, we asked her, what is your dream ideal situation? She said, I would love to be out of where I'm at and into something else by a certain day in a certain month.
And it's happening.
She said, and when she said it, she was like, but I know it's not possible.
Yeah, and she also said that. That's right.
And
her is not to us.
Right. But real story, true facts. She's there right now. Like what she thought was never possible became her reality.
She's up.
And when we get her on the podcast, we're gonna let her tell her story, and we're gonna let her tell the details to that story. But fact check us though. Look back. We're not talking about stuff that happened 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years. We're talking about like right now, yesterday. 2 months, a month. Yes, last week, like products, like right now, people are literally today becoming better off in their lives because of what HGRG.club has to say.
Right. One step closer to financial freedom, bro.
100%. 100%.
So let me hit you guys with this last question. Okay, DT. Is real estate investing easier if I already own a property?
That is.
No.
It is for me. Yes, for me.
I say no.
Well, tell me.
So tell you why no, and then Lance tell us why.
Okay, let's go at it. Go ahead, DT, and I'll tell you. You want me to go first? I can go first, no problem.
Go ahead, bud.
I go first.
Oh my God.
Your eyebrows are out of place.
Oh, he's putting this in.
Hey, man.
It's over. Yeah,
hey, man.
So the reality is that if you own a property, you can leverage that property, right? If you own a property, you want to, utilize a HELOC, you can go ahead and turn your property into your own bank, right? You can get a HELOC and you can take that money and put a down payment on your next property. So you don't have to go find the money. You don't have to do that. It's there for you, right?
So that was a loaded question though. So are you saying?
Don't help him.
No, I'm just
don't help him though.
I don't want to help him.
Do not help him. I just
want to know what you mean by when you say you own. Is it an investment property or it's a house that you own personally? It's your resident.
He's gonna
doesn't say. I'll give you both. I'll give you both. If you own it, you can. I mean, it doesn't matter because you can utilize a HELOC for both, right?
I just want to be clear, bro. I don't
so if you own a property,
I want to start the hosting right. You know what I mean?
Hey, G, you're doing a good job. Great job.
Appreciate you.
Great job.
So you could utilize whether it's an investment property yours
next week. We'll be good. We'll be good.
Or your primary home, right? You can utilize a HELOC. Right, and you could pull that money and use that as a down payment for your next investment, right? Okay. So it gives you a head start. It gives you a boost, right? So you don't have to find the money. So owning a property, whether it's your primary home or an investment property, does make it easier to go ahead and invest and get another property.
Okay.
And that's just one way, but I mean, it's good enough to stomp whatever you're going to say right now.
I love that you said that. Can you do me a favor? Can you repeat the question?
Question is,
remember what you say.
Real estate investing easier if I already own a property?
Okay.
It is easier. It's easier to find the money. A lot of people have issues with the money. It is easier.
So what you just said really was a waste of time because
absolutely not.
You already know you own a property.
Yes, it's clear. That's what it says.
Okay. So when you said whether it's your primary or
that's what it says.
It was just like a kind of a waste of time, right? Either or you own.
I just want to be Jerry butted in. I just want to be clear on what he was at. I'm not blaming anybody. But he wanted me to clear it up, so I cleared it up. Regardless if it's your primary or it's an investment property, you can utilize a HELOC.
That's good to know. Is it easier whether you own an investment property or a primary residence? Probably was a better question, but nevertheless, it's not easier. It's not easier because if your credit's there, is there. Because in order for you to get a HELOC, you have to have credit scores and approvals, no matter what. If you don't have good credit, you won't get approved. So if you own a property, you don't own a property. What changes is your DTI, your debt to income. So one would say it would be easier, Lance, if you already own a property to become an investor. Another
because you can pull the money.
Excuse me, sir. Okay, another would argue that it may be easier if you don't own a property because your DTI is more free. You don't have DTI. So now I can come in the game with a lower credit score, 3.5% down, and get my first investment property with less out of pocket. One would say. Would one of you argue that?
No, if you're utilizing the FHA loan,
I would.
So did I use a cheat code?
If you're using an FHA loan, yeah, you
absolutely use a cheat code.
So is that easier?
But my thing, it's saying that is real estate investing easier if I already own a property. So who's saying you can utilize the FHA loan? Let's say they already utilize the FHA loan, right? And it's been a year and a half, and they want to go buy another investment property. You see what I'm saying? I mean, just having a property and having money in that property and being able to pull that money out makes it a lot easier to go.
I go against the money thing. I would say it's more easier because you kind of know the process. So if you're an investor and you bought an investment property, buying another home gives you a little bit more knowledge on buying correctly, using the realtor, using the inspection, talking to the property management. So I would say in that sense, it gives you a more ease into the buying another investment property or another property.
That's my guy right there. I didn't even think about that. Just the process is easier because you've been there already. You know, once you're under the lights already, it's easier, right? You ain't never been there before. Hey, shut up. We did it. We won.
I want to be clear because we have seasoned investors that still come to us because they don't buy right. So
don't help him. What are you talking about? We already won.
I want to be real. I'm not gonna be biased, and because you're H.G.R.G, because he's H.G.R.G too. So we still got to.
Stop the recording. It doesn't matter. Stop the recording.
No, but to be honest, one would say getting into another property, you should know the process. But some people don't know.
Which would make it easier, right? Though.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can scream that out. Bro.
The question was, matter of fact, Lance, repeat the question.
I got the question right here.
One more time.
Is real estate investing easier if I already own a property?
Okay, so my politically correct answer would be it's really not easier either way. Politically correct.
This is like a last minute. This is a last stand right here for him. Go ahead.
Hey guys, make sure you listen to, rewind, listen to everything he said and circle back. Politically correct. Easier is either way, depending on your circumstances. Financial, how much money you make, how much money you have to save, whatever. There's a lot of variables. Either way is a better way. I can argue better if I own one. I can argue better if I don't, because there's a cheat code. It's called FHA.
Yeah, if you utilize the FHA, you'd win this argument for sure.
Which I did, and I won. If I don't own a property, and if I do own a property and I leverage that property, to Lance's point, that would be better, right? So, like I said, I can argue both ways, right? Not to say we do this for people to watch, whatever, but nevertheless, there's people who really feel like either way.
We do this for people to watch, bro.
We. I'm saying, like, we don't
do it out.
We don't fake these conversations though. Like, these conversations are real conversations because I really feel like what I feel, and Lance,
you didn't really have to say that because people know that. People know that
So,
scripted.
You can win either way. Obviously it's very, you have to be calculated on how you move, the way you move, why you do what you do, whether it's FHA, conventional, singles, doubles, multis, conventional, not conventional, I'm sorry, commercial loans, hard monies, family, friends, whatever that looks like. So you could win either way, which in real estate, we're always going to circle back to that. So when we ask those questions, they're really trick questions, right? And
or we're so complex. We deep dive in everything.
Yeah.
So we always give.
And to be clear,
and all that stuff.
To be clear, we don't agree on everything.
We didn't agree right now.
There's things that Lance and Jerry and I we don't agree on, and we won't. I agree to disagree, and we keep pushing.
We keep on going.
But in real estate, that's the beauty, because you don't have to agree, but you can still win. Everybody wins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to agree, but you still cash out.
Yes,
that's right. And the best way to win is H.G.R.G.club.
You know it.
That's the best way to win.
You know it.
That's the best way to win. But listen, that's all the questions I got this time. Guys, make sure you leave comments, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys share, and we'll be right back with you guys. We appreciate you. H.G.R.G.
Appreciate you guys. H.G.R.G. got club.
Yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.